Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Hello and welcome to My Body and Vegan. I'm Holly and this is
Matt.
Matt's my boyfriend, if you don't already know. And we're going to just do a little bit of a Q&A type thing.
Yeah, Q&A type thing. I've known Holly for 2-3 weeks, is it now? Something like that. I met her on a night out. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, me and Matt have been together for...
Years. More than 4 years. Lots of years.
For 6 years.
Is it?
Yeah, no. 6.5. So I don't know whether you will know or not, but I've been vegan for about 1.5 years and Matt's been vegan.
A little bit less, maybe a year and a bit. A year and probably a couple of months-ish, something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, first question.
Yeah.
Yeah? So what made you go vegan?
What made me go vegan was you, basically. You saying that you wouldn't cook chicken for me anymore. No, I watched the documentary. I watched What the Health, I think it was, after you'd gone vegan, weren't it?
Yeah.
I watched What the Health, and I initially watched it and I was like, whoa, and it painted a picture that normal eating patterns were really unhealthy and like a vegan lifestyle was a lot healthier for human beings. And initially that was enough to make me go, oh, it made me pay attention, because I thought I don't want to be kind of killing myself just eating what I've been taught to eat and what I've always ate. So I thought I'd do it, and it was for selfish reasons really. It was to give it a shot. So I said to Ollie, you know what, I'll do it for about 6 weeks. I'll do it. And I gave her a date, right? And it was just out of the blue. And I said, this date, and it was about 6 weeks ahead, I will be a vegan till then. And I think, was you shocked when I first said it?
Yeah, I didn't really think they would go through with it. Like, that was just one of these things where it's like, yeah, I'll do that. But
yeah, she thought I was just talking poop. But I said, when I commit to something, I'm all in. So I committed to it, and I said, look, I will be vegan until that date in the future, like the end of October or whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
And 6 weeks is what I promised, and I didn't slip up once. I didn't I didn't cheat once or anything like that. No. I just literally was a vegan for the 6 weeks that I promised. And then at the end of 6 weeks, I went to the local restaurant. They did a Sunday dinner. So for any American viewers, Sunday dinners are like, I don't know, roast dinners. They're not going to know what that is either. But basically, I went for
a bit like a Thanksgiving.
Maybe like a Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe never had one, but
sure.
went for a full kind of proper Sunday roast at the local restaurant. And it was a good restaurant that do great Sunday dinners. And I went for one after 6 weeks of being vegan, and I ate it and I enjoyed it, and I felt disgusting after. I felt I don't mean disgusting as in the thought of it. I felt bloated. I felt sick. I felt like I'd just eaten the worst thing ever, and I couldn't believe it, because I'd had 1 million of those Sunday dinners and there was nothing different to it than normal. But it was like, this Sunday dinner was disgusting. It tasted okay, but it was like disgusting. And it blew me up and made me feel bloated and awful. And I just thought, wow, what just happened? And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to be a vegan for a little bit longer. And I just thought I went vegan. And I stayed vegan then forever after until now. So that was it. It was meant to be a 6 week thing. At some point, Ollie did say, I'm not going to cook your meat for you, which is fair enough. I'd have to cook my own meat. She'd cook the other stuff. I cook my own meat. So that's not a massive appealing thing to have to cook your own meat. But ultimately, that's how I started off as a vegan. Yeah. It was for selfish reasons and almost like a personal challenge to myself. And then I felt bloated and horrible. So I went back to vegan, stayed vegan ever since. And yeah, here we are. But during that time, I should add, that it actually became more about the animals. So I stopped making it about me and it became about the animals. And now all of a sudden, I'm not doing it for health reasons, because I'm not 100% convinced that What the Health documentary is filled with facts. I think some of it is a bit, I don't know. But
still definitely healthier.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A vegan, I think I do believe a vegan lifestyle, a vegan diet is healthier than a normal diet by a long shot. I do believe that. But I think some of the things on there were a bit, I don't know. But anyway, but now I've transitioned away from it to the point whereby I'm not doing it for myself now. It's not for selfish reasons. I'm actually doing it for animals on compassionate grounds. And I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Hi, Diane.
Hey,
she
Diane.
says, I'm going vegan. I don't eat meat, but fish sometimes, but I don't like eating that now.
Oh, good on you.
That's awesome.
Good on you.
So should I ask you another question?
Yeah, keep asking questions.
I've written them down because I don't want to forget. So did you find it hard at first? You know, when you first started?
Incredibly difficult, like really, really, really difficult. And I know that's probably not the right answer, but it's the truth. If it wasn't for Holly, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. I'd have quit because, like, it's a massive change to go from being able to eat anything, and the only thing that stops you eating anything is literally calories because you don't want to get fat or because you don't like it. That's it. And obviously some people, like, you know, might be restricted by money. So maybe you can't afford a filet mignon or something like that. But basically that's it. So for me personally, I could eat anything I want whenever I wanted it. If I wanted it, I could have it. And going from that to not being able to do that, to basically not being able to eat anything. So you could walk down an aisle in a supermarket looking for some food and you're looking around and it's like, I cannot eat any of this stuff on these shelves. So to go from being able to eat anything if your mouth wants it to literally not being able to find anything on the shelves, that is a massive, massive, massive change. You know, it's difficult. So that transition period is a difficult period, but it was Holly that got me through it. And every time I'd be like, oh, this is difficult. I can't find anything to eat. I'm hungry. I'm blah, blah, blah. She'd be like, no, it's easier than you think. And like, I think it is tough. And I don't think I could have done it without Holly. If I wouldn't have done it without Holly, but having a Holly definitely helped me go vegan for sure.
Yeah. Like you didn't really like asking in restaurants and stuff like that, did you? Like whether you could eat something or whether you could modify something. So,
I felt like I was always kind of causing trouble if I would ask something like that. It's like, you know, like the troublesome vegans can't just eat something off the menu. They've got to be troublesome. And I felt like it was a little bit like that. So I wouldn't ask them, but Holly would, and she didn't mind. And what I actually found out, which is interesting, is you actually get treated a lot better in most restaurants and food places if you tell them you're vegan. So all of a sudden you stop dealing with maybe some kind of minimum wage person that doesn't want to be there and kind of hates life and hates customers and hates everything about their job and just wants to go home. You stop dealing with them, and almost 9 times out of 10 you deal with the manager at that point, who's responsible for like taking care of like allergies and things like that. So
they care a lot more about your experience.
Obviously the managers usually got more in it for them because, you know, they're on a decent wage. It's no 0-hour contract or something like that. It's a decent wage. They kind of live and breathe the job at least. Some of them might even be tied into some targets, or maybe sometimes they might even own the business. But ultimately, there are a lot more willing to kind of cater for you. And what I didn't realize is you don't get treated like, oh, a dirty vegan that's kind of causing trouble. No. Quite the opposite. They roll out the red carpet for you at times, which is crazy. I don't quite understand why, but they actually do. So you go to a restaurant telling you're vegan, chances are you're going to get treated better, not worse. And that was unusual for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely do, don't they? I think it's almost like they don't want a bad review because they've treated a vegan badly or something.
Maybe
like
it is.
that.
Yeah, maybe it's just the wrath of vegans unleashing bad TripAdvisor reviews. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But you definitely get treated better, and you get to the senior ranks. You get the senior ranks dealing with you. So at manager level, they're a lot more accommodating. They're a lot more willing to kind of flex. And oftentimes, even if something's not on the menu, a lot of the time, probably 80% of the time, in fact, probably more than that, they'll literally say, look, we don't do anything on the menu that's vegan, but tell us what you want. They literally come out with things like that, don't they?
Yeah,
tell us what you want.
Make you whatever.
And they'll make you something. And when Ollie first said something like that, I was like, make you whatever. I thought they were going to rip us off on price or something, but they didn't. And they're just really, really super accommodating. So that was cool.
Okay, so what food do you miss the most, if any?
Right. So everybody seems to think that, I think the biggest problem with becoming vegan is that you have to give up cheese. Now, I wasn't a massive fan of cheese anyway. And in fact, vegan cheese, I mean, my little girl, she actually prefers vegan cheese to real cheese. You know, she's not vegan, but she prefers it. And it's like, it's like that, isn't it? It's kind of, it's not, I'm not bothered about cheese. Eggs, believe it or not, thing that I eat, and I just craved those eggs for a while, and it was weird because like I'm not really an eggy person, and I never really was into eggs, but eggs was the thing that I craved, not cheese. And cheese is addictive, believe it or not. That's why you crave it. But like eggs is the thing that I actually really, 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 really wanted. But I've stopped that for some reason. The egg obsession is gone, and I know there is egg replacements out there, but I didn't really find any. Like I've not eaten an egg replacement that has made me go, ooh. So eggs is the one thing I've not seen a replacement for, but pretty much everything else there's good replacements for. In fact, we just ate, what did we just eat, Holly?
We had a fishless finger sandwich. So
we just had fishless finger sandwiches. It sounds crazy, it sounds bonkers to non-vegans, but these fishless fingers have got no fish in them.
But they taste just like fish.
They taste pretty good. And what people don't realize is when you go on these vegan websites, people are assuming that it's like, because the vegan websites all talk about legumes and what else do they say? They make out it's all about beans and pulses and seeds. It's not like that. We don't eat rabbit food. We don't eat lettuce all day long. We don't eat beans and nuts and pulses. There are replacements for everything. Now, you might say like, oh, well, that's not a very healthy vegan diet. Look, end of the day.
But we still eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah,
and we do eat legumes. We just don't really refer to them as that. It's like a chickpea or a lentil. Or,
But like people hang on to what they're going to miss. But like you name it, there's usually a vegan alternative for it. So I've just had a mince pie and a cup of tea. But the tea had oat milk in it instead of cow's milk. And the mince pie was just a mince pie that happened to be vegan. And it's like that for a lot of stuff, really. Like there's, like I say, fish fingers. There's replacements for. What else is there? There's replacements for chicken,
sausages.
The sausages are better than real sausages.
Yeah, they actually are.
Like the sausages that you can get in every supermarket that are vegan, Linda McCartney sausages, are actually better than most other sausages with like real meat in them. Yeah. You know, which is bonkers.
Diane just said, I will miss milk. I drink about 2 pints of whole milk a day, and I know it's not good for you.
No, absolutely. Yeah, but you know what, Diane? Milk is really bad for you. I'm convinced of that now. It's pumped filled with hormones. And ultimately, if you think about it, right, it's not made for us. Like that milk, the cow has to be artificially inseminated, and then the calf taken away from the mother, and then they milk it. They don't milk it because it's good for the cow, like the media would have you believe. They milk it because it's pregnant and it's making milk for the baby that they stole away from the mother, and then they feed it to us. We wouldn't even drink breast milk from our mums past a certain age, but we spend our whole life drinking milk from the breast of an animal that's not natural. And it's just totally messed up. And
that's made me sad now. I won't have it.
Did she not know that?
No, probably
did you not know that, Dan? Yeah, that's the truth. And like they make the cow pregnant, take away its baby, and then steal its milk for us. That's what it does. And then when it stops making milk, they make the cow pregnant again, steal the milk and give it to us, take the baby away and give it to us. And they do that again and again and again. And we're led to believe by the dairy industry that milk is actually like good for you, or that like we're doing the cow a favor by milking it because it struggles with it. No, we're making it make that milk and then taking away the thing that should be having that milk. And we're not built for that milk. We're not made for that milk. Like, we don't get milk naturally from our mothers for our lives. We don't get milk. We shouldn't be stealing cow's milk. It's just normalized by society. And it's just a strange kind of phenomenon that we think is normal, but it's not. And here's the thing, Diane, right? And anyone else that's watching this. Cow's milk is easily replaced with other milks. So you've got soy milk, you've got oat milk, you've got hazelnut milk, you've got cashew milk, you've got coconut milk. There's tons of different milks, hemp milk, and these different milks are good in different occasions. So oat milk is better in tea than cow's milk. I kid you not. Not all oat milks, but if you get Alpro oat milk is better in tea than cow's milk. It tastes better. It's like, it's bonkers. It's quite got a strong flavour.
So you probably wouldn't like it in your tea so much.
Diane, try oat milk from Alpro.
Yeah.
Alpro oat milk. Try that in your tea.
Or soy, because I feel like
some people prefer soy.
Soy milk, it's a little bit more like cow's milk, sort of.
Yes, yeah.
It gives you the same consistency of tea, I think.
So my personal opinion is oat milk, Alpro oat milk is better in tea. Soy milk is better on your cereal. Yeah,
I mean, everyone that we've given oat milk to in a cup of tea, they've all literally changed over. Like,
they're not even vegans, but they try oat milk in the tea and they're like, "This is better."
Yeah, like my mum and dad don't buy cow's milk anymore, do they?
No. So they're actually changing to oat milk, and they're not even vegan, and they've no desire. Well, a lot of them have no desire to be vegan. They just prefer the taste of it.
Well, Beck doesn't buy cow's milk anymore.
No, but Beck that works for us has no intention of turning vegan, as far as I'm aware. But she's going to do that. Yeah. Cool. But she's drinking oat milk because it's better. It tastes better, and it's healthier. You're not stealing a cow's baby's milk. You're not doing that.
She says, I think I'll go vegan tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That'd be amazing if you do, Dan. There is a transition period. You know, you have to get used to it. You have to kind of. I think Ollie. In fact,
she's most of the way there, though. To be fair, like, she doesn't really eat meat. It's more the dairy thing, I guess, that's going to be a bit more difficult.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be, because
there's so many replacements.
The replacement milks, like, you can only drink cow's milk, or you can drink about 5 different vegan milks. And like I say, in different situations, like, they're really, really good, better tasting. So it's like, I don't know, it's win-win.
Yeah, it is. Can you remember what you was going to say before I cut you off?
No, I think I'm about done.
Okay. I'll look at my other question. What's your favourite vegan meal? Is that going to put you on the spot?
My favourite vegan meal is, this is a tough one. We have about 5 meals that I absolutely love. So, like, let me go through some of the meals that we have, right? And it might sound crazy, but, like, we have vegan bangers and mash. Yeah. So we have Linda McCartney sausages in sweet mashed potato. So sweet mashed potato, and then you chop some onions and mushrooms up, and put some garden peas in there. And some gravy, some lovely gravy, because believe it or not, a lot of gravy is vegan. Bisto gravy is vegan.
The beef ones generally are vegan. The chicken ones generally have milk in them.
Right. So you have gravy. So bangers and mash with sweet potato mash, peas, mushrooms, onions, gravy on it, and it's gorgeous. Yeah. Another meal that I really like is I love a good fried breakfast wrap. So beans, mushrooms, hash browns, Linda McCartney sausages, avocado mashed up in a wrap. Amazing, lovely, gorgeous, tastes great. Yeah. What else do we have?
Vegan shepherd's pie.
Vegan shepherd's pie. Not sure quite how she makes that, but vegan shepherd's pie. It's got lentils in it. She makes an amazing. She makes 2 curries, chickpea curries. And they're amazing. They're amazing. Handmade. I think you use some curry paste, don't you? Or something like that. But other than that, totally kind of from scratch. Amazing. Yeah. So there's a couple of curries.
What else do you have?
I don't know, but there's a few recipes for you to get going at. But lovely, beautiful meals. I don't miss old food. Once you get over the fact that you can't have anything and everything, so you can't walk down a chocolate aisle and have everything, you're basically restricted to limited amounts of chocolate. But believe it or not, you get used to the kind of replacement. So we have Bourneville. So we have Bourneville dark chocolate. I didn't even like dark chocolate. I thought I despised dark chocolate. But Bourneville, I don't know if it's my age or what, but Bourneville is actually quite nice, and it's dark chocolate.
I think you almost forget what the other things taste like, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
And then like your taste buds get used to the new stuff, and I don't know. I almost feel like if we went back to eating the normal chocolate, we probably wouldn't even like it, you know?
Maybe. But then there's other options like Vega. There's Vega bars from Holland and Barrett that are kind of like a hazelnutty kind of chocolate bar thing, aren't they? They're pretty good.
They're good. Yeah. Hi, John.
Is John here?
Yeah, John's here. He says he's just got here. I've been doing invoice. I don't going to do vegan.
Hey, we need to be spreading the word.
Yeah.
What is that then, where people just go vegan for a month?
Yeah, they just try it for a month.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I did it for 6 weeks, not for veganuaries or whatever. And I'm now a vegan, and I have been for over a year. I can't believe it, but I have. I tell you what, I know Ollie's not asked me, but I suppose one of the biggest questions I get asked is, how do you feel? Do you feel any different or something like that? I get people ask me all the time, and I think they're expecting me to go, wow, it's life-changing. I feel so different. And in reality, I haven't noticed a massive difference in the way I feel, but my skin's cleared up. My skin's the clearest it's ever been. So is Holly's. And I didn't realize that veganism was meant to cure hay fever, but we've just moved out into the countryside. There's more trees and fields around us than we've ever been around. We might as well live in the woods here and just farmers' fields and stuff for miles around. And this has been the hottest summer that I remember in my life.
The highest pollen count.
Highest pollen count, and honest to God, I've not had more than a minor twinge of hay fever. I've not taken a tablet this year. I've not taken an eye drop or a nasal spray this year at all. And it was watching a vegan channel that actually it was Hench Herbivore's channel, where he said it cured his hay fever. And I'm like, what? And then I went, oh my God, we've moved into the countryside. There's more trees and fields than ever before. Highest pollen count in the hottest summer. And I've not had a twinge of hay fever this year. And I'm like, Jesus. Being vegan this year has cured my hay fever. Now, I'm not one of these that's easily kind of swayed into thinking that something's happened when it hasn't. So I'll reserve judgment. If next year my hay fever goes wild, I'll say it didn't cure it. But as far as I'm concerned, I've never lived a single year of my life having not had at least a couple of weeks whereby I'm struggling with hay fever, itchy eyes.
You have to do all three, like the eye drops, the tablets, and those things, just to like be okay. Yeah, so
to be okay, for usually about 1 to 2 weeks a year, eye drops, nasal spray, tablets, and it'd knock out most of the symptoms for those couple of weeks if I stayed on it. This year, nothing, 100% fine, which is bonkers. So it's cleared my skin up. And it's actually cured my hay fever, I think. Now, something else that people bring up a lot is protein, because I've not been to the gym for a while now, but I was going to the gym quite actively. And obviously, before I went vegan, I was drinking protein shakes if I wanted to, or I was going to Burger King and eating like four burgers on a burger and things like that to get protein into me for the gym, thinking you can't build muscle on a vegan diet. But I tell you what, and most of my muscles kind of dropped off me, or a lot of it has.
You've still got.
I've got a bit compared to my normal. I'm not saying I'm Arnie, because I'm not, but my natural body is less muscle than I've got, and I've not been to the gym in quite a while now. But my point is, the muscle has kind of, it's still packed on in the same way as I would have expected it to if I'd have been on a non-vegan diet. So plant-based protein, and I've not been doing any supplementation, has enabled me to build muscle. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I'm not sure I could be the next Arnie, but I wouldn't have been able to do that with whey protein shakes all the time either. I'm just not genetically gifted in that way, unfortunately.
John said, I've noticed a lot more vegan products on sale in Tesco's now, such as the ice cream. Holly's channel has really educated me as to how varied it is.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, absolutely, John. You know what? I think we've joined this vegan movement at the right time, because even in the last year, while I've been vegan, I've seen such a shift in so many products coming out that cater for vegans. So like Magnums, you know, Magnum ice creams, amazing. They do a vegan one. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, they do a vegan one. What other vegan products have they come out with that while we've been?
All sorts. Like they've come out with a lot of vegan sandwiches that you can grab on the go, haven't they? You know, like Boots and.
Oh yeah, Boots have been banging out vegan sandwiches. All of the mainstream restaurant chains, all of the mainstream food outlets.
They've got like vegan menus and stuff now.
They've all like, you can get vegan menus, full menus. Sometimes you have to ask for them. Like in Wagamama's, there's a full vegan menu in there. It's a different menu. So they didn't usually give you the standard menu, but then if you say, have you got the vegan menu, they bring you a different one. So like, but like, we are catered more heavily for vegans. So when we first started going Wagamama's, there was like 2 dishes that were vegan, weren't there, or something like that?
No, if you remember right, we had to ask the vegan lady that works there what we could modify to make vegan.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, and she would be like, oh, we can take the egg out of this and put different noodles there.
And now, full vegan menu. You know, Zizzy's has got a vegan menu, and they stick a little vegan sticker on your plate. Don't know what that's about, but they do it.
Yeah.
And like there's
Pizza Express have got a whole vegan menu.
Pizza Express have got a vegan menu now. A lot of them are adding Pizza Hut. Yeah, Pizza Hut have brought vegan cheese in. So people think that you got to eat legumes and lentils all the time, and you're going to be eating lettuce leaves. When in reality, you can go to Zizzy's, you can go to Wagamama's, you can go to Nando's. I don't really like Nando's vegan stuff, but you can go to Nando's. You can go to Handmade Burger Company. You can go to all of the main restaurant chains up and down the country. They're all adding vegan options. So you can go and eat with your friends that aren't vegan and still be able to get stuff, and nice stuff as well. And a lot of the time, the food's actually better. Yeah. A lot of the time, the food's actually better.
You don't expect that, do you?
No.
Like you think, oh, it's going to be a bit ropey, but like it never is.
I thought it was going to be pure sacrifice from start to finish, and it's not. Once you get over that admittedly difficult hump, that transition period that could be 1 to 3 months, I would say. Once you're over that, it's like, it's just another world. But we've talked a lot about food, and we should probably talk about, like, I don't know, should we talk about the Cruelty, or should we keep it food related? Or do you want to just ask me some more questions?
Could I ask you some more questions?
Go on then, let's do that.
But first, Diane said, how is vegan cheese made? And most of it's predominantly made with coconut oil, surprisingly. But it's really good.
Well, I'm not a fan of cheese, but the vegan, I've not tried the vegan cheese that you have. I have it on the pizzas at Pizza Express and Pizza Hut, and it's nice. But like the cheese smells cheesier than real cheese does, which is like, it blows me away. It's like, how can that thing that's not even cheese, that's not had any animal suffer for it, how can that smell more like cheese than normal cheese does? It's bonkers. Yeah,
but it is really good, as long as you get like a good one.
Yeah, there's good ones and bad ones in anything, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. I really like the Violife slices. And Ebony really likes those too, doesn't she? They're the ones that she really likes. And the Asda's own brand one is really good as well. And they've actually brought out a vegan Christmas cheese board.
Ooh,
did you know that, did you?
I did know that, because you banged on about it a lot.
But I haven't found it yet, but still.
Yes, but like a lot of mainstream products are now creating vegan versions. So Bailey's, which Bailey's was only invented because they had a load of cream that went off. Yeah. So it went off and they couldn't do anything with it. And they were like, what do we do with all this, like, tons and tons and tons of cream? What do we do? Oh, you know what? We'll chuck some whiskey in it and then create a drink. And that's basically, as far as I'm aware, the story behind Bailey's and how Bailey's, the drink, came about. It was off cream with whiskey poured into it. Well, Bailey's have just come out with a vegan version. And obviously cream is the furthest thing from a vegan product, but there's now vegan Bailey's.
Yeah, I bet you'll like that, Diane. It's got almond. It's made from almond milk.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's vegan Baileys, there's vegan all kinds of stuff, and we're seeing. I think we've caught it when it's become really not trendy, but I think there's a change happening in society whereby
people are becoming more aware, aren't they?
They're becoming more aware. They're watching documentaries like Dominion. I would say, I mean, it's like watching a horror film, and it's real life. And it's not isolated incidents. It's how animals are treated. And I would say, just get yourself a cup of tea and some popcorn, if you can stomach it.
I wouldn't have the popcorn.
No, not the popcorn. But just watch a couple of the documentaries. Like, what would you say? What the Health is a good one. What the Health is a good one. It kind of inspired me to give it a shot.
Yeah. Dominion.
Dominion is very much on the cruelty side of it, and you'll see how it really is. And it's like watching a horror film, and that's what they do to bring you your food. So you see it as bacon, and you see it as chicken, and you see it as beef. Inhumanely slaughtered, and there's no humane way to take the life of an animal, in my opinion. There's no humane way to take someone's life, something's life, that doesn't want to lose that life. There's no humane way of doing that, you know. But
even the way that they say is humane, they don't do that properly.
No.
But I guess you'd have to watch those films.
Watch Dominion or watch What the Health. You know, there's loads of others, but watch them. Watch them all the way from start to finish. You won't want to. You watch half an hour of Dominion, you'll want to turn it off. But it's real life. It is how it is, and it's awful. And the way I see it is, and I know we've got into the cruelty stuff, which you probably didn't want to get onto, but the way I see it is, if I can't kill that animal, how can I morally justify myself to pay somebody else to? If there was a cow in this room now, could I walk up to it and slit its throat and watch it bleed out? Could I do that and then chop it up bit by bit and eat it? Could I take a baby lamb and slit its throat, chop its leg off, and then eat that leg? Could I do that? No. I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill a chicken. I couldn't kill a cow. And in this day and age, when you don't have to, when you've got a choice, we don't have to eat meat to live. We've got a choice, right? It's not tens of thousands of years ago. We're not like some savages. We have a choice. And I couldn't kill it, so why would I pay somebody else to kill it for me? And for that animal to live in horrible circumstances and get slaughtered, how could I justify that morally? How can I put as Earthling Ed says, how can I prioritize my taste buds over the life of another sentient being? It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And yeah, for most of my life, I was not a vegan. And I was just taught, this is what you do, a square meal. You have meat, you have carbs, you have some veg, and that's what I was taught. And everybody's taught, and it's normalized. And there's a huge industry around it that wants it to stay normalized and make sure that there's pressure on politicians and stuff to make sure it's normalized and stays normalized. But it's not normal to slaughter things, take their lives, and then like eat them. It's just not right. It's wrong. And the more you expose yourself to kind of like the messages in the vegan community, the more you realize that we've been living a lie our whole lives, and it's all messed up, and it's just wrong. And if I can't kill them, I'm not going to eat them. That's it. Sorry, rant. Bit of a rant there.
Yeah. John says that he loves Baileys.
Yeah, you love Baileys as well. There's a vegan Baileys, John. It won't be quite the same as normal Baileys, I'm sure.
Don't expect it to be.
No. We've tried it. It isn't quite the same.
Yeah,
but you know what?
It's still nice, isn't
it? When you're being a vegan for the right reasons, and I think the right reasons might be your health. If that's what motivates you, then that's great. Your health, you will be better in health. For example, and I bet some of the people watching this didn't know this, and I'm 90% sure this is the case, but you cannot get excess cholesterol, and excess bad cholesterol is the biggest killer in the UK and, as far as I'm aware, in the West. So heart disease is the biggest killer in the West. So heart attacks are more likely to kill you than anything else, as far as I'm aware. When it comes to chronic disease, a heart attack is going to be the thing that kills you. Heart attacks are caused by excess bad cholesterol, and you can only get excess cholesterol from animal products. There is no other way to get excess cholesterol in your diet. Now, I've heard somebody say you can get it from sugar, but I don't know about that. And I've just had my cholesterol tested, having had a pretty terrible diet, a proper, council estate kids diet my whole life, most of it, eating crap. And my cholesterol is very good right now. And I've been vegan for a year. Now, if you keep your cholesterol under a certain level, low battery, if you keep your cholesterol under a certain level, there is no way you can have a heart attack. And this is not something that it's not an irreversible thing. You can start a vegan diet now, and it can reverse a lot of the problems that a high bad cholesterol diet has created. Cholesterol is from animal products. Cut animal products out of your diet, your cholesterol comes tumbling down. If your cholesterol is low enough, if it's within certain levels, and those are within vegan levels, basically, you cannot have a heart attack, as I'm aware of it. I'm not a health guy. I'm not whatever. It's just research that I've looked into myself. And as I understand it, as a non-doctor, that is how I understand it. So if you go vegan, if you're worried about heart attack, if you're worried about heart disease, if you're worried about the biggest killer in the West, you can go vegan, and it will reduce your chances of having a heart attack massively, immensely. And other chronic diseases, certain cancers you can avoid with a vegan diet, and all kinds of stuff. So
reverse diabetes as well.
Diabetes.
A few other things, I can't remember what they are.
So it's okay to go vegan for selfish reasons. I started for selfish reasons, whether the reason was because I watched What the Health documentary and it was about being more healthy, or whether it was because I didn't want to have to cook my own meat. Whatever reason you want to give it, it was probably a selfish reason that motivated me. Maybe even the selfishness of making a challenge to myself, me saying I can do this for 6 weeks, and knowing that people doubted me, and knowing I was going to prove them wrong, and I was going to prove them, you and everyone else. Because when you say something to people, people go, yeah, whatever. When you go, I'm going to start a diet on Monday, they go, yeah, whatever. And 9 out of 10 people don't do it. I'm not that guy, and I wanted to prove it to other people and to myself. If I say I'm going vegan for 6 weeks, I'm going vegan for 6 weeks. And I went vegan for 6 weeks, and that was for selfish reasons. But now it's not. I believe it's for the right reasons, and now it's for the animals, because I've become more educated. So even if you start off and it's about selfish reasons, that's fine, because at some point it'll probably transition into for the environment or for animals or whatever. I mean, do they know about the environmental damage of it?
I don't know. Probably not.
So there's environmental damage. In fact, we'll save that for another talk. Ollie can talk about that another time, because I'm ranting all the time. Sorry, Ollie, go on.
It's okay. John says, what about starting off as a vegetarian? Is that a good plan, or do you recommend straight to vegan?
I think, John, whatever makes it easier for you to transition. So it's like saying, I don't know, would it be easy for somebody that smoked their whole life to just instantly stop smoking? Some people can. My grandma smoked for 50 years, woke up one day and said, I don't like how it smells. I don't like how it tastes. I'm going to stop smoking. And she stopped smoking, and she lived till 90 something after smoking for 50 years. She decided that day, I am not going to smoke anymore, and she stopped. Now, most people are not going to be able to stop that quickly. They're going to need nicotine patches, nicotine gum, hypnotherapy. They're going to need all kinds of stuff to get them to stop smoking. So you could go, is it better to just stop smoking all of a sudden? Now, yeah, if you can do that, of course it is, because you stop smoking straight away, which is good for you, better for you to just stop now. Yeah. But if that means that you're going to fall off and you're going to start smoking again, then that's not the best way. So my opinion is, if vegetarian is going to help you ease your way into it,
Yeah,
go vegetarian.
A lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah.
A lot of people think, oh, I'll do that and then I'll cut the dairy out.
We met some young girls yesterday. We went to an Earthling Ed talk. Earthling Ed, just YouTube Earthling Ed after this, and watch him just talk so eloquently about the vegan argument. Nobody, in my opinion, nobody can win an argument against Earthling Ed without winning on kind of like just being like an idiot or whatever. Morally, the argument that Earthling Ed puts across to any objection to the vegan kind of diet is an inferior argument to his, because like whatever you say to him, you cannot win against like Earthling Ed in an argument. And we went to see Earthling Ed at Lincoln. We met him in the summer, didn't we? But we went to see him at Lincoln University yesterday, and we're speaking to some young girls on the way because they were lost. They couldn't find it either. And we're just chatting to them. One was 18, one was 17. And the 18-year-old girl was like, yeah, I've been did she go vegan straight away?
Yes.
Or was the other one vegetarian?
The other one was vegetarian, and she was thinking about going vegan.
Yeah, so the 17-year-old girl was vegetarian. She was thinking about going vegan. The 18-year-old, she was already vegan and had been vegan for a while. And whatever transitions you, if you need to go vegetarian first, do it. Yeah. Ultimately, if that helps you take that step, that's the right thing to do. Whether it's for your health, whether it's for the animals, whether it's for the environment, whatever argument you want to have or whatever kind of reason you want to have, it's a good reason. There's nothing positive to like being a meat eater over and above a vegan. Nothing. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, there isn't. I think it's hard for people to think like that, though. Do you know what
Of course
I mean?
it is, yeah. Of course it is.
I think that it's just as easy to cut out the dairy as it is to cut out the meat, though, personally.
It was very easy for me to cut out the dairy. I'm not a cheese fan, and like we were talking about, there's really, really good cheese substitutes. So you can actually get cheese that tastes just like cheese, that smells just like cheese, that looks and feels just like cheese, that's not cheese. So, you know, you could do that. And the milk is like the milk's
so much better. Better. Like it's nice.
You use Alpro oat milk in your tea, it's better than cow's milk.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot healthier for you.
Does Manta said, what religion is veganism?
What religion?
Yeah.
It's not religion.
No.
It's not religion. It's
a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's a movement. It's a diet. It's more kind of a way of life. A way of life. Yeah. So obviously, normal eating is to eat meat and dairy products, and that's been normalized so much by society and how we've been brought up. So we think that's normal. When in reality, when you're faced with the cruelty of what actually goes into giving you that meat and dairy products, like how anybody can, when they know about it, and I think that's the problem. People don't know.
People don't know about it, but they don't really want to know either.
No,
because that would then mean change. And most people don't want change. No.
At the end of the day, people are going to say stuff like, oh, it's isolated instance. They'll see a video and they'll be like, oh no, that doesn't happen. That's not real. That's just that's a bad case. But this documentary we watched yesterday at that talk, it was like these are not isolated incidents. And then it was like every clip it showed of cruelty in the agricultural animal industry. Yeah. Every element, it was like it had the year on it and the location. Yeah. And there were so many different years and locations of this footage taken from it. It's like
it can't be.
It painted a good picture that it wasn't an isolated case. Yeah. It's standard practice within that industry to basically be really, really, really cruel. So for example, you know, they're meant to stun certain animals first and then kill them, but the stun gun often doesn't work, or they're still in massive pain or whatever.
Well, and then usually they, even if it does work, they regain consciousness before they actually reach the place that does the horrible stuff. Yeah.
Or like they're meant to go through, they'll be strung upside down and they're meant to go through like electrocuted water, is it, or something like that?
No, it's they're meant to slit their throat first. But then sometimes, like say it's like a duck or something, and they'll move out of the way, and so it won't get them, and then they'll get dunked into the boiling water.
So they get boiled alive.
To loosen their feathers for like once they've already died, but a lot of them haven't.
It's just really, really cool. Just watch a couple of documentaries. Just say, you know what? Even if you don't decide to go vegan, like I'm not here to preach. Your decision. It's your life. It's your decision. But at the very least, just say to yourself, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sit down and we're going to watch a couple of documentaries. Watch Dominion, and watch What the Health. Just watch those two.
Last night we watched The Land of Hope and Glory.
The Land of Hope and Glory we watched last night. But just watch a couple of vegan documentaries. I think the stronger vegan documentaries aren't about the environment. I think they're about
Cowspiracy about the environment, really.
Cowspiracy is one that people talk about, but that's more of environmental. For me, that doesn't speak as that doesn't have as much impact to me. Not because I don't care about the environment, because I do, but I don't know. I don't know. That's the conversation for another time again. But ultimately, it's the cruelty to animals.
I think that's something that will have the most impact anyway on people.
Animals, yeah. People say I'm an animal lover. Ask yourself, if you're an animal lover, right? How do you eat animals then?
Yeah.
If you're an animal lover, how do you eat an animal if you're an animal lover? And then you go, oh no, I like cats and dogs and horses. It's like, well, why are cats and dogs and horses? Why do you give them priority over a cow or a chicken or a pig? Why is there a priority given to a cat and dog? Because society's told us dog's man's best friend and cats are pets, and we bring up horses to ride on. But other cultures, in China, they kill and eat dogs. The French kill and eat horses. Why is a dog precious to you, but a pig is seen as almost like inferior, and it's okay to slaughter and hurt a pig, but it's not
got many of the same characteristics.
Yeah, pigs are intelligent. Pigs are got a lot of similarities to a dog.
They're very loyal and loving.
We went to vegan camp out this year, which was awesome, by the way. It was just camping on a field for 2-3 days, and like there's entertainment and vegan talks and stuff, and everyone's camping. They're all vegans, and it was great. Somebody had a pet pig on a lead, and he loved life. It was just like a dog, but it was a pet pig, and it looked weird. It's not normal. I know that it's not normal, but it was great, and people were like, "Whoa!" They were stroking it, and the owner was loving it, and it's just like we're so cruel to these animals through a sense of superiority or something, but it's just wrong. Yeah. We shouldn't take the lives of animals because we think we're superior to them. It's like, I don't know, it's like some aliens coming along and stealing your kids and just eating them because they're more intelligent than us or something like that. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't morally justify it. And just because we always have doesn't mean we always should. Just because you've always eaten animals doesn't mean you should always eat animals. I sound like a proper vegan, don't I?
You are a proper vegan.
I've never spoke like this before, have I? This is the first time I've spoke so passionately and kind of like preachy, if you like.
Yeah. I think it's got a lot to do with the video that I made a few days ago, about the disconnect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people really think about it. Like, they call it meat.
Yeah, it's meat, but it's not. It's a dead body.
Yeah.
It's not meat. Don't fool yourself. Chicken is not chicken meat. It's not some magical meat stuff. It's a little animal that's grown up from a little chick. And bear in mind, if it's a boy, don't they chuck them in grinders alive?
They either gas them or grind them.
Gas them or grind them.
They can't lay eggs.
In hundreds of them, thousands of them a day.
There's billions of them.
Billions of them, yeah. Billions of male chicks.
Yeah.
Chicklets getting chucked into grinders, being ground alive because they're male. Yeah. Now you might say, so what? Like, it's just a chicklet. It's a baby. It's a baby. It's just a chick. It's a baby bird because it's a boy. And this is in the West. This is normal. This is not like a freak occurrence in some kind of backward country. This is like supposedly civilized countries taking that chick and throwing it into a grinder en masse, hundreds of them a minute, just like throwing them into grinders and watching them ground up alive chicks because they're a boy. And then growing these chickens in like 40 days and go on.
Do they give them like
steroids or something?
To make them grow a lot quicker, like in 6 weeks they're the size of like a fully grown, but it makes them collapse. The legs can't.
And then they kill them. They kill them, slaughter them, so you can eat them on your plate, so you can have your chicken. But your chicken was a dead animal. It's a dead animal. I don't go in a supermarket now to the meat section and see meat. I see a morgue. I see dead animals, dead flesh, dead bodies everywhere. Just dead bodies, just mass cruelty. And that's how I see it now. Like sometimes I like, you know, if you've always looked at it like it's just meat and it's what we've always done, then I understand the disconnect. But it is a disconnect. You know, we need to reconnect the cruelty of what's happened to that animal, that poor little animal that could be your dog or cat if it wasn't for society deciding dogs and cats are okay. But chicken getting just mutilated and savaged and slaughtered to feed somebody that, you know, going to eat a bit of meat, half of it's going to end up in the bin. No, you know, not even going to think twice about it. And that little thing's lost its life. Had to be, I don't know, it's just cool. Anyway, made it look
huge.
It's because I look small. There we go.
Normal size.
I was a bit further back. It's all about the angles. So, you got any more questions or any more comments?
John said, might be a hard question, but how much more expensive is shopping as a vegan compared to what you spent before, percentage-wise?
I think some things are more expensive. So, for example, milk.
Like ice creams.
Yeah, there are some things more expensive. Milk's more expensive.
Not loads, though.
No.
And not all of them either.
No,
like,
you can shop around as well, and there's often discounts.
Asda soy milk is
69p, to be fair. It's probably
and nicer than our produce.
Yeah.
And that's only 69p. So I think it's
you know what? If you shop around, you probably can get similar price, if not cheaper on a lot of stuff. What stuff is? Let's not paint a rosier picture than it is, because like what is that
like,
is more expensive?
Things are like pretty good. Like the Linda McCartney sausages, you get 6 and they're £2.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the fish fingers are quite expensive because they're £2.50 and you get 10 in a box.
Yeah. So there are some price differences. But like we went and shopped at Aldi, didn't we, this week? And
it was good.
You filled your trolley almost. It was like over half a trolley filled, like £63 or something like that. Yeah.
So as long as like you get in most of your veg and your fruit and like some tinned stuff from like places like Aldi.
You can go if you shop at Waitrose, you're gonna pay top money. But if you shop at Aldi and the discount retailers, you'd be surprised how far your money goes on a vegan diet. Yeah. It doesn't have to be significantly more expensive. Some bits and bobs are. Like, we've not even tried them because even I was like, that's too expensive, I'm not buying that. But in Holland and Barrett, they had some eggs.
Oh, yeah, you can get them cheaper, though. It was just because
it's like
$8. It was in Holland and Barrett, and Holland and Barrett's quite expensive.
£8 for 4 eggs. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it was an egg replacement thing.
So I've not even tried them because they're too expensive. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think you can get them a lot cheaper if you shop somewhere else.
Yeah.
Dan said, is this video uploaded? I'll forward it to my daughter. I don't think it's uploaded yet, will it?
Yeah, when we end the stream, it should go live, or shortly after.
Yeah. John,
bless Diane for staying with us all this time.
Diane. John says, I prefer almond milk on my cereal porridge, but coconut milk in my tea. We've not tried coconut milk in our tea.
John, have you tried oat milk?
I think he has tried it.
Has he tried oat milk? Okay. Well, that's cool. Whatever you like, go for it. But ultimately, like, you're not taking in all those hormones.
Yeah. And because that's what you've got to remember as well. Like, the cows are being pumped with hormones. Like,
you
shouldn't have in us.
No, there's all kinds of nasties in milk. Like, we're led to believe because like people were even given milk when they were kids at school, like we were led to believe that it's healthy for us, healthy for like bone development, healthy for this and healthy for that. But in reality, we're not made to drink cow's milk our whole lives. We're just not made to. There's no way in nature for us to drink cow's milk our whole life. You know, imagine if there wasn't mass farming like there is, and you had to keep a cow on your back garden and keep the cow pregnant, and then make sure that the cow's kid doesn't drink the milk because you want it. Like, imagine having to do that. That's not natural. We're not made to drink milk. Society tells us to drink milk. I don't think
anybody would do that anyway, would they?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't.
No.
If you saw the way that the mother cow and the baby cow reacted, like, they wouldn't do it, would they?
No.
As you probably know, I've had bowel cancer. The doctors said they didn't know how I got it. I think I know now.
Yeah, I think is bowel cancer one of the cancers that's
connected to.
I don't know, John, but I think bowel cancer is one of the cancers that supposedly can be maybe not, I don't know, prevented, or at least
a lot less likely.
Yeah, I think that is one of the cancers that is linked to
like dairy and
animal products or something. I think I don't quote me on that. I think it might be. Yes, I mean, cleaning up your lifestyle. I think having in fact, what put you onto a vegan diet was Steve.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, I'd been thinking about it for a long time, but then I spoke to Steve, and
Steve really knocked her over the edge, and
I saw how much it had changed.
But Steve had cancer, and Steve has been able to like basically continue living even when everybody wrote him off. With cancer, with a pretty bad cancer as well, and he's been able to. I mean, I think it reversed the effects somewhat. Is that right?
His doctors were astounded at like what he'd managed to do. Like, he's literally managed to turn all of his what do you call them? Observations.
Oh yeah.
Or like just his results. He'd managed to turn them all around through his diet. But yeah, I don't know how much we should share because it's
no, we won't share any more than that. But we've not said his surname or anything. But basically, Steve had or has cancer, and he lives on a vegan diet. And I think people were expecting him not to live as long as he has, and he's still fighting fit, as far as I'm aware. And he puts a lot of that down to the fact that he went vegan.
Yeah, and he told me a lot more about it, and it was the pus in the milk that made me a bit like, oh,
yeah,
I don't think I could do that. Dan says markers.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
And yeah, so he went vegan, and it's literally gross, isn't it? But
Dan's like, ugh.
Yeah. Should I ask you another question?
Yeah, ask me another question. It's coming on for an hour, so we should probably wrap it up soon. But I've enjoyed it anyway. I've enjoyed ranting about something other than work.
Don't know if I've already asked you them all. Did I ask you what did you find easy that you thought was going to be hard?
What did I find easy that I thought was going to be hard?
Like something that you thought would be like awful.
I thought it was all going to be awful. I thought this was going to all be awful. For example, we went skiing and we went in a ski chalet, and I was like, we're going to not be able to eat properly. Like, these hotels aren't going to cater for vegans. Like, what are we going to do? We had the most amazing food in this catered ski chalet. Yeah, they charge us something like €40 more each or something for the week to cook vegan for us, but that's fair enough. It was amazing. It blew me away. I just been on a Caribbean cruise on Royal Caribbean, and Ollie's done a video about it. And like, we thought we were going to struggle, didn't we? We thought we were going to be in trouble. They bent over backwards for us. They rolled out the red carpet for us. I've never been treated so well in my entire life.
And how good was the food?
The food was outstanding. The service was outstanding. I've been blown away by the service since becoming a vegan. over how well catered for
and how nice the food is.
Amazing
like,
food.
Yeah, like everyone thinks that the taste comes from the meat, but like it really doesn't.
Yeah, I tell you right now, and I'm not saying this lightly, and I never thought I'd say this because I thought when you think about it, like vegetables sounds like it can't be that nice. And I tell you right now, I prefer the taste of what we eat now to what we ate before. I prefer my food way, way more now, and arguably it's a lot healthier now, and it tastes better. We're not eating lettuce and legumes all day long. We're eating really tasty food, really, really lovely recipes. They've just got no meat in them. But the flavor doesn't come from the meat. For example, on your roast dinner on a Sunday, you think that your flavor's coming from your lamb or your flavor's coming from your roast beef or whatever. I tell you right now, make some gravy how Ollie makes it. Chuck, what do you do? Chuck some stuffing in there. Yeah. So she chucks some stuffing, not big balls of stuffing, little granules like bits of stuffing into the gravy, and the gravy's gorgeous, and there's so much flavour in there, and like you'll still do roast potatoes. You can still have chips. Like if us Brits love some good chips, you can still have chips and chip cobs, and just like. All this stuff you think you're going to have to give up, once you're over the hump and you realise you don't have to, it's just, it takes healthier. There's just no reason not to. And you don't have to cause the harm to these poor little animals that never asked for us to bring them into this world and slaughter them and give them terrible lives. You know, they didn't ask for us to be so cruel to them. You don't have to do it. And becoming vegan is that one little step. It's you just saying, I'm not going to be a part of that anymore. And every time you buy a vegan product in fact, that's what I'd say to people to do. If you don't want to go vegan straight away, if you've got a choice, say there's a burger, there's a beef burger there in a shop, or there's a vegan burger, there's tons of vegan burgers. Just go, you know what? I'm going to choose this one instead of this one. Even if you don't want to go fully vegan, just try the odd product. Say, I'm going to buy that. Some won't be as good, but like some will be better. And like sausages, next time, just go buy some Linda McCartney vegan sausages.
They're really good.
They're really good.
So good. And
then all you've done is you've cut out something that is filled with crap anyway. There's hardly any actual meat in it. You know, it's loads of ligaments and cartilage and brain and crap that's scooped off the floor. There's all kinds of rubbish in those sausages. Not in vegan sausages. They're a lot cleaner, a lot better, and plant-based. Think about it, plant-based or slaughtered dead body, slaughtered dead animal-based. When you get the chance to make the odd choice and you go, you know what, I'll choose that vegan option, it helps the vegan movement. Even if you don't go fully vegan at first, one, it'll help you realize that you can actually find stuff that tastes good. And every pound you spend with them, or dollar for our American friends, every pound you spend with them instead of spending with the meat producers is another vote for vegan, which makes, supply and demand, it makes that supply go, hang on, there's a thing, there's this swell of veganism that's happening, and it is happening. It's getting more and more popular all the time. This swell's happening, and it's getting bigger. We'll put a bit more R&D into this. We'll put a bit more marketing budget into this. We'll put a bit more effort into this. We'll create some more products in this line. And before you know it, all of a sudden, it's not one product out of 10 that's vegan. It's 2 products out of 10. And then maybe 3 products out of 10. And the more people that make the vegan choice over a meat choice means that the less dead things, the less animals that have to suffer and have their throats slit so you can eat them. And the more plant-based stuff you can eat that's tasty and good for you. And it's good. It's better for the environment, better for compassionate grounds, better for your health. And it's like when you start to look into it, it just makes no sense to continue to make this choice. You know, so I'm ranting. I don't want to preach. Ultimately, I do believe in it's your choice, and I understand. I've only been a vegan for a year, so I know how it is on both sides of the fence. But hopefully, if we've just made one person or 2 people on this live go, you know what, they made a good point, I'm going to look more into this, and you watch a couple of documentaries, and then maybe one day a week you decide we'll have a vegan day on a Sunday or a vegan day on a Wednesday, And, you know, and maybe you just slowly, gradually like change over. Who knows? Might change your life, might change your health. Definitely going to change the world and change the world one tiny step at a time. You know, increasing the demand for vegan products so it reduces the demand for animal-based products, reducing cruelty, increasing your health and all that stuff. Anyway, it's Holly's channel, not mine.
Who would know? No one.
I might start a vegan channel.
No.
I might start a vegan channel. Call it the Vegan Marketer.
Can't get a word in edgeways vegan.
Sorry. I guarantee if I'd have not said anything, you'd have been like, about 15 minutes in, you'd have been like, so, I would have been done. But instead, you've listened to me rant for an hour, because that's how I roll.
No, but Diane said she's going to go vegan from tomorrow.
Well, I hope you do, Diane. I believe in you, because I know you've got long-term I know you've got the right mindset for it. So understand it might be difficult at first, but if you need any recipes, speak to Holly. She makes some beautiful stuff, and it tastes so good. And honestly, if you can get about one recipe per day, 7 main meal recipes, and then bits and bobs, like we've had fishless finger sandwiches tonight.
That's not one of them meals, though.
No, but once you've got bits and bobs, and then you've just got 7 main meals, you won't struggle. So you need 7 good meals that you really enjoy. Monday, Wednesday, all the way through to Sunday, and then you won't ever worry about like the vegan thing, because you can get it everywhere you go out, wherever you go eating. If you go to a chain restaurant now, they've almost all got vegan options. At home, you can come up with some amazing, cheap to make. You're not buying the meat. You can buy a couple of tins of chickpeas, and they make up your curry instead of a load of chicken that would cost more.
I think everyone thinks chickpeas will be gross, but they're actually
chickpea curries. Chickpeas in curries are lovely if you cook them right, if you know how to do it.
Yeah. And John said that he's going to try Veganuary.
Oh, good on you, John.
I feel like that's really hard to say.
Veganuary. I don't know how you say it. Veganuary.
Veganuary. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? That's just the fact that you've been willing to sit with us, listen to us, and stuff is awesome. And you know what they do say, if you could just like get one person to try it, then it's a win. So it's a healthier.
That was easier.
Vegan January. It is, yeah, you're right, John. It's a healthier, more compassionate way to live, and we've chose this way for over a year now, and we love it. And the last 2 things we've done outside of working are both vegan things. We went to a vegan festival, and we've not done anything else.
Non-vegan in a while.
In ages. All we do is go to vegan stuff.
And the time before that we went out, we went to the vegan festival in Nottingham.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, 3 things. The last 3 times we've been out, we went to the cinema with Ebony, didn't we? But the last 3 times we've been out, like just us pair, literally is to just vegan festivals, vegan fairs, and vegan talks.
Vegan donuts.
Vegan donuts. There we took Ebony to get some vegan donuts, which were amazing from Nottingham.
Good.
Donuts, it's called in Nottingham.
Try it.
They've got vegan donuts, and they're amazing. Anyway, I'm going to let you wrap this up and talk, because I've talked a lot. Lovely to meet you all. If anybody watches this and you've not watched the channel before, you don't know who I am. I'm Matt. Over to Holly.
So John said, well, call that a win then, because if I hadn't watched this tonight, I wouldn't have made that decision. It's definitely a win.
You know what, John? You know what? I did it for 6 weeks. If I can do it, you can do it too. And you'll have tons of other people doing it at the same time. So stick with it for a month. See how you feel.
There's a website, isn't there, that like helps you along with it?
Is there?
Like you sign up, and then I think they send you like tips every day and stuff like that. I think. Just look at it. I'll put it in the link. But yeah, there's definitely
I don't regret going vegan whatsoever. I don't see the downsides. Honestly, I don't see the downsides of it. I like the lifestyle. Yeah, there's a strong vegan community. It's just I think it's great. I don't want to say vegan for life. I can't imagine myself ever going back. I think I will be vegan for life. If I said I'm going to go vegan for life, I really would. So I'm not going to say it, but like I'm 99.9% certain I'll be vegan for life, genuinely, which is bonkers, because I never saw this coming. 2 years ago, I'd have probably laughed at vegans and gone, whatever.
No, you definitely would.
I would have, you know, and now I'm a vegan. And
I think even I did, to be fair. Can you remember when Kerry went vegan for a little bit?
Yeah.
It was more like dietary, but
yeah,
I was like, why are you doing that? And she was like, I don't know, just have. And I couldn't understand why she didn't want any milk in her tea.
yeah.
But I think we've all been there, and that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
you can't forget that the other people around you are just like you used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mean to have preached on this if it's come across a bit preachy. Passionate, because I believe in it. And I'm always talking work, so I never get to talk about this stuff. But so I suppose I've splurged. I've had an hour to just go over what I think. But like, I don't know everything there is to know about veganism, not by a long shot. But what I do know is that it's the right thing for me, and it's the compassionate thing. It's the most compassionate things for animals. If I can't kill it, I'm not eating it. Don't be fooled. It's a dead body you're eating. And, you know, and it's stolen milk. It's stolen milk from that calf. It's not your milk. Mm-hmm. We're not made for it. And I know that. And I know that. Take away all else. The facts are eating animals is cruel. That's a fact. Taking something's life so I can satisfy my taste buds is cruel when I don't eat it. That's cruel. That's a fact. And we're not meant to drink milk. We're not made to drink milk. We're not made to drink calf's milk. We're just not. That's a fact. And also another fact is vegetables, fruits are healthier for us. Nobody can dispute that. Filled with antioxidants and all that stuff. The government and all the food agencies around the world say eat your 5 a day and all that stuff. They encourage it because they know it prevents the oxidization process. It prevents cancer and obesity and all that stuff. It does have positive things. It's like we're made to run on plants, and we end up eating a load of junk, load of dead bodies. And I know in my heart of hearts that however people judge what I do, I don't really care one way or the other. You can make it, yeah, if somebody laughs about me being a vegan, my friends laugh at me for being a vegan. I'm not bothered. That's all right, whatever. I'm strong enough of mind to know that, like, I don't care. I don't care what you think. It's fine. It's my journey. I hope you'll see sense one day and see that it is cruel and stuff. And I hope you'll at least educate yourself and make a good decision based on an educated opinion. But yeah, anyway, I'm talking about. Let you wrap it up. I think I'm done.
You're done.
I'm done.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you haven't already. And will there be comments?
What?
There'll be comments.
I think the comments are separate. So I think these comments were on the live. I don't think they'll be on the recorded video.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, if you want to comment as well, because it won't hurt.
Yeah, then comment down below, and please don't forget to subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
It's been really nice chatting. Thanks for joining us, Diane, John, and everybody else.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, cheers. We'll speak to you soon. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and good on your journey. Hopefully you do the vegan thing and see how it goes for you. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. See you. Bye. Bye.